moving on to question number 14, and is asking why is apple called as a false fruit and which part of the flower forms the fruit? This is asking about apple only. First of all, to answer this question, we know that generally what happens after fertilization in angiospermic plants, what happens in after fertilization, the ovary converts into fruit. The ovary of a female converts into fruit and the ovule converts into seed. Alright, this is what happens generally. But in case of false fruit, or I may say that sometimes what happens, the fruit does not develop from ovary. The fruit does not get developed from ovary. These kind of fruits are known as false fruits. Apple is such an example of that kind of fruit. Apple is a false fruit. Why is it so? Because it is not developed from the ovary of a flower or a female organ. It is developed from thalamus. Which part of the flower which give rise or forms the apple fruit? Then the answer is thalamus. Thalamus is the part of a flower which give rise to the apple, or apple is developed from the thalamus. That is why, because apple is not developing from the ovary of a female organ, rather than it is developing from the thalamus of a flower. That is why the apple fruit is known as false fruit. Alright, so this is the answer, and if we are going to write, then it would be like this, that apple is a false fruit because it does not develop from the female ovary. Any fruit which is not getting developed from the ovary part, then the fruit is known as false fruit. Now moving on to the second part of this question, which part of the flower forms the fruit? Then the thalamus. The thalamus. Generally, what part of flower give rise to fruit? Generally it is ovary. Ovary gets converted into fruit generally after fertilization. But in case of false fruit in apple, the thalamus give rise to an apple. Alright, so this is the complete solution. This is the complete answer of question number 14. As we know that generally ovary gets converted into fruit, but in case of apple, thalamus is responsible for the formation of apple.